confidential in this order because of the issues. And
Okay.
Dad has already agreed to that, okay?
Sure.
Well, Eliza too. That was to Eliza and Erica. Or is it Alize or is it
Yeah.
Eliza?
Alize.
Alize. So Alize, yeah, your address will be kept confidential in this order, and Dad has agreed to that already as well.
Okay.
So when you hear me saying no non-disclosure, I mean non-disclosure in the order, that's what I mean. That's what I'm referring to.
This is call number 2020-30600 in the interest of Elaine Garza. Please, all parties, raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Garcia, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you hear what I asked?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you promised, so your response was what?
Yes, sir. I promise to tell the truth.
Okay. Now, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Me?
Yes, yes.
Alize Garza, and I'm her mother.
You're the mother. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And how old are you?
16.
All right. And who is there with you, ma'am?
Erica
Please
Guerrero.
state your name and your relationship to the mother and the child.
Erica Guerrero, mother of Alice Garza and grandma of Eleni Garza.
Okay. And you're her what? I'm sorry.
Mother of Alice and grandmother of Eleni.
Okay. And sir, your name and your relationship to the child.
Eric Jonathan Garcia, and I'm Ellen's father.
Okay. And for the state.
Marcella Turner.
Okay. And Mr. Garcia, how old are you?
18.
Okay. And we've got a petition to establish parent-child relationship.
Correct.
Having a hearing. And do we have any stipulations?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
Let's read those into the record.
The parties have agreed to establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Garcia and the child before the court today, Ilani Garza. The parties have also agreed that the child's last name should be amended and the birth record should be amended to show her last name as Garcia. The parties have also agreed to a child support amount in the amount of $220 and a medical support amount in the amount of $40, both of those to begin January 1st of 2021. The parties have also agreed to a non-disclosure as to the custodial parent, Ms. Garza's address. Your Honor, the parties have also agreed to no possession and access in this order, and the state is asking that the court take judicial notice of the protective order signed on February 4th of 2020. which states wherein that Mr. Garcia is not allowed to be within a certain, I'm sorry, 200 feet of the home regarding Ms. Garza or anyone in that household, including the unborn child, which is the child before the court today.
All right. Well, I can't take judicial notice of something I don't have or isn't in the record. I don't have anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Maybe
Could I
it may be under a different number. I
a
don't know.
different cause number?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Could I
So,
give you the cause number to pull that up? I'm sorry.
well, is there an agreement that there is that protective order?
Yes, they both agree to that, and they understand. I've spoken with both of them regarding that, and they've agreed to no possession
All
and
right.
access off
Okay.
of that.
All right. And so, any further stipulations?
No further stipulations, Your Honor.
Okay. So far, Ms. Garza, Ms. Guerrero, is that your agreement?
On what?
What you just said?
Your Honor, it's not to my agreement because he has a history of hitting her.
No,
And I just want that
no. Everything that she just said about child support, about possession and access, all of that she said, is that your agreement, Ms. Guerrero?
As far as like what, I'm sorry. I mean, I heard what she was saying, Your Honor. I'm sorry. The child support being the 240, him paying the state the 40. But as far as like the retro pay, have we gotten to that yet?
What all she said? Yeah, well, you weren't listening, I guess. Ms.
I
Turner,
wasn't. Just your
I can
counselor.
only see your eyes. I can
Oh,
hardly.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
You
Should
want
I read? Do I need to read it again?
to repeat those stipulations again? Maybe the parents will pay attention. Go ahead.
The parties have agreed to a non-disclosure as to Ms. Garza's address. The parties have agreed to possession and access, otherwise known as visitation. The parties have also agreed to a current child support amount in the amount of $220 and a current medical support amount in the amount of $40.
Correct. Agree.
Is that the total of the
Either way,
agreements? Is that the total of the agreements, Ms. Turner?
One other one, Mr. Garcia did indicate that he's willing to enter the NCP Choices program. I'm sorry, I left that out earlier.
All right. Is that your agreement, Ms. Guerrero and Ms. Garza?
Ms. Turner, I'm sorry, but the 220, does that include the back pay or not yet?
We haven't gotten to that
Okay.
yet. That's
Okay.
what the
We
hearing.
agree.
so what I'm concerned
Okay.
about as of right now, till the protective order is over. he
Wait a
can't
minute. I'm just
leave.
asking you if you agree with what she said so far. If you don't agree, well, then we have to have a hearing on it.
I don't agree on some part.
You don't agree. Okay.
I
Well,
agree
Ms.
on the
Turner,
money
you'll
part,
have
yeah.
to. I'm sorry?
I agree on the whole money part of what he pays. I agree on that.
Do you agree to everything Ms. Turner said that you all agree to? Did you all discuss this at all?
We
Yeah,
did, Your Honor, at
Miss
length.
Mother, did you pay attention?
I'm paying attention.
And so you don't agree with what she said?
Just saying that, right, that they're not giving my address on the paperwork.
I agree.
And then the child support is the 240, has to pay the 220, has to pay the state
I agree.
$40. And that as of right now, he doesn't have basically any possession of the child because of the paperwork.
I agree.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, do you agree so far?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what are the issues?
The issues are retroactive child support, otherwise known as back child support, and conservatorship.
JMC or SMC?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Garza. Ms. Garza, who does the child currently reside with?
Who does she live with?
Yes.
She lives with me and my mom.
Yeah, who does she? Okay. And how old is that child?
She's about to be 9 months in a few days.
And who makes the day-to-day decisions regarding your child?
Me.
Does the father, is he an active participant in making decisions regarding this child?
No.
And who takes the child to her doctor's appointments
Me.
and whatnot?
We do.
Well, me and my mom both do.
Okay, and has Mr. Garcia ever indicated a willingness to want to assist in taking the child to any of the doctor's appointments?
He would want to go, but I mean, the whole situation, my mom not liking him, then it's just a no.
Doesn't he have isn't there a protective order? He can't do it. Is that correct, Ms. Turner?
Right,
All right,
correct,
so he can't do it.
right.
All right.
Okay, so are you in agreement with being named as the sole managing conservator and Mr. Garcia as the possessory conservator?
What does that mean?
You
I
said
don't
yes in
know.
the last thing, like you're her primary caregiver.
Yeah, I'm her
You're her
caregiver.
mother because
Yeah.
of the paperwork. You're the sole person
Yeah.
to go to.
And you understand why that was proposed due to the protective order, correct? We did talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Has Mr. Garcia provided financial support for your daughter since her birth?
No.
And have you ever requested any sort of support from him to take care of the child?
Mm-mm.
And have you and Mr. Garcia ever lived together since your baby was born?
Not since she was born.
Okay. And are you requesting back child support since your daughter's date of birth?
Mm-hmm.
You got to say yes or no.
Yes.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Garcia, you have any questions for Ms. Garza?
Not really.
Okay. Call your next witness.
At this time, the state would like to call Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia, have you ever, I'm sorry, we spoke earlier today in regards to conservatorship. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And I explained to you the difference between joint managing and sole managing conservatorship. We talked about that as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you feel that you should be named as a joint managing conservator?
Yes, ma'am.
But you're aware that there is a protective order in place, correct?
Correct.
And why do you feel that you should be named as a joint managing conservator?
Because at the end of the day, that is my daughter, and I want to be there for her. I mean, it's not my fault really how shit is right now. Like, I just want to be a father to my child and be in her life. That's really it. And I don't want none of the other drama. Just that.
And based off of that testimony, you're asking this court to appoint you both as joint managing conservators. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Garcia, have you provided financial support for your daughter since the date of her birth?
I've bought clothes that I haven't gave to her mother. Like I bought clothes, milk, Pampers, and everything, like car seats and everything. But I still have to give it to her. But I
Okay.
have it in my possession.
Why
And
haven't
I
you
got
given it to her?
because I can't see her.
Okay. Have you lived with Miss Garza since the time of the baby's birth?
No, ma'am.
And do you feel that you owe any retroactive child support?
I mean, not really, because I have not seen my baby. Like I haven't got to spend the quality time that she does and her mother does.
Okay. No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Guerrero, do you have any questions for him?
No, Your Honor.
All right. What is the agreed child support?
220. And I'm sorry, Your Honor, I forgot to question him about what he was earning during the time period.
All right. Go ahead.
Mr. Garcia, how long have you been unemployed?
I'll say like 2 months or 1 month.
So So where were you working prior to?
Well, I used to work at like it's like a gardening business. It's like where you cut trees, you put mulch and everything. It's like gardening basically.
And how much were you making when you were working there?
I used to work only weekdays, Monday through Friday. I make like almost 500.
I'm sorry, your line went out. You said you make almost 500. Was that weekly or what?
Yeah, that was weekly.
And how long did you work doing that type of work?
I'll say 3 weeks max.
3 weeks. So
Yes,
outside
ma'am.
of those 3 weeks, you were earning the $500. Were you unemployed?
Now I am.
Okay, so let's go back because you said prior to the last 2 months you were working, but you only did that type of work for 3 weeks. So outside of that,
Hmm.
since your baby has been born, have you had a job?
Other than that, no, ma'am.
Okay. And you don't have any other children, is that correct?
Correct.
No further questions for Mr. Garcia.
All right, the court appoints the mother sole managing conservator, the father possessor conservator. Court awards retroactive child support judgment amount of $2,300 to be paid at the rate of $30 a month beginning January 1st, 2021. All of the stipulations are approved. Anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. If you guys could hold on for a second, don't hang up.